What's up guys, my name is Dale from Creator Pro Website, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a website for your Instagram. So I'm going to show you how to make this website step by step. I'm going to show you how to create text and buttons that jump to different sections on your website. I'm going to show you how to create these giant social buttons, and all of these are clickable. I'm going to show you how to create an About Me section, how to put your Instagram feed on here so that whenever you post to your Instagram, it automatically updates on your website and you can load more. I'm going to show you how to create these pricing tables so that if you want to advertise on your Instagram and charge people for that, you can do that here. And then I'll show you how to put music on here, as well as set up an awesome contact me section and then a footer as well. And I'll also show you how to set up these buttons up here on your header so that they jump to different sections on your website like this. And this whole website is mobile friendly because after all, this is for your Instagram, so having a clean, responsive design is a must. And as you can see as I scroll down, everything is fitted perfectly for a mobile device as well as tablet. So this whole thing is responsive to any device that you can use. This website is made with an awesome drag and drop software, so it's super easy to add buttons and text and pictures, and you can even edit right on the screen. So this is perfect for beginners. And I'll even show you how to make a logo for your website that's completely free using an online software. And it can be done in just 2 minutes. And this whole website is supposed to be about you, so I recommend gathering about 6 to 8 pictures off your Instagram that we're going to be using for everything, for the backgrounds, for the buttons, the About Me, everything. Okay, so in order to have a professional website that you own, we're going to need 3 different things. So the first is a domain name. And a domain name costs about $5, especially if you're following along with this tutorial. I've got special discount codes for all of my viewers. The second thing that we're going to need is web hosting. And web hosting is basically just renting space on a server that's connected to the internet so that you can fill that server with all of your pictures and your text and all your other media and then go live with your website. And again, I have an awesome discount code that gets you a huge discount on your web hosting. And then the third thing that we're going to need is WordPress. And WordPress is a completely free software that we're going to use to visually design our website. So you don't need to know any coding. Now, there's a reason why you don't want to go with a free website. The first is that you will not own your own domain name. It will be something like yourdomainname.wix.com or .squarespace.com or whoever is hosting this website for you. The second is that you can't install plugins to help with the functionality of your website. The third is that there's only limited theme options, so you can't upload new themes in order to customize your website. Number 4, you could not monetize your website with ads if you wanted to because you don't own it. And number 5, whoever is hosting your website for you could delete it at any point for any reason. So this is why I highly recommend owning your own website by getting web hosting. Okay, so let's move on to step number 1, secure a domain name and web hosting. In order to do this, just click on the very first link in the description below this video, and that will take you to a special co-branded landing page that I have with HostGator.com. HostGator is what I host all my websites on because they're fast, reliable, and they have 24/7 customer support. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 3 different plans here. And what they recommend and what I also recommend is the hatchling plan because it's going to be your cheapest plan and it's for one single domain. Now, if you know that you're going to have multiple domains and you want to redirect those domains, you can do the baby plan or the business plan, but I really only recommend those if you're planning on making a lot of money with your website. But for now, just to start, we can do the hatchling plan and then we can always upgrade. So let's go ahead and click on Buy Now. And then here is where you can search for your new domain name that you want. And if you already own a domain name, you can just click on this tab right here and use the one that you own. So what I recommend doing is searching for the exact same Instagram handle that you have. So for my case, it's dalemcmanus.com. And then you can just go to .com over here. And it's going to tell me this is not available because I actually already own this and I'm actually doing something else with that website at the moment. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to do Dale's Insta website and then .com. And then cool, it's available and it's checked right here. So now we can scroll down, and you're going to definitely want to leave the domain privacy protection on for this website. So I highly recommend making sure that that's checked, because otherwise your public information is going to be out there and solicitors can call you and harass your phone, and it's just super annoying to get called all day because they're going to be like, hey, I can build your website for you and this and that, but you don't need that because you're watching this tutorial. So I highly recommend keeping your info private. Okay, and now we can scroll down, make sure that your package type is on hatchling, or if you chose a different one, just confirm that that's there. And then the billing cycle, so this is important. The longer that you commit to, the cheaper it is, as you can see, up to 61% off. And this is using that link in the description. If you didn't use the link, I highly recommend using it. And yes, it is my affiliate link, so I do get a little bit of commission off of this whenever you use it, but it also helps fund these free YouTube videos that I'm doing, and it also saves you some money. So it's a win-win for both of us. So my number one recommendation is to do 12 months, because with 12 months, you still get 50% off, and you're buying your domain name for 12 months anyway. You can't do any shorter term than 12 months, no matter who you go with. So I recommend just getting your hosting for the same amount of time. Now, if you're just starting out and you just want to see if you like it first, maybe you're not sure if you're going to be into web design, well then you can just choose the 1 month. And again, you can always upgrade later. Okay, so now we're just going to create a username, which I'm just going to make my name, and then a security pin. And then we'll just scroll down, and then here is where you can put in all of your billing info. So I'm just going to do all this really quick so I don't bore you with all that. Okay, so I already have an account with my card info in here. So if not, just go ahead and fill out the rest of that information, and you can either use a credit card or PayPal to pay. And now we're just going to scroll down, and here is where we can add additional services. So what I'm actually going to recommend is to uncheck protect your site from hackers, as well as uncheck back up your hard work, because I've got videos on my channel that show you how to do these two things completely for free. I also have a video that shows you how to get a professional email with your domain name, so check out my channel for that, and I'll also put those in the description. And then up here, you're also going to have a free SSL certificate. Now, for mine, it's not because I already have an account made, but if you're first signing up for an account, you'll see free SSL certificate, and I would just leave that checked. That is this little lock symbol up here at the top that tells people that this website is secure and safe. So you're going to want that for your website. Okay, and scrolling down, make sure that your coupon code says Create a Pro Website, and that will get you that big discount. And again, that is my affiliate link, but it does save you money. So as you can see, the domain went from $18 to only $5. And then our hatchling 1 month plan went down from 10 to 7. So a grand total of $27. Not bad. So I'm just going to click on I agree and then click on checkout now. And now HostGator is just going to set up your account for you. Cool. So here we are inside of our HostGator dashboard, and this is also called our cPanel. So the next thing that we're going to do is step number 2, install WordPress. And WordPress, again, is the free software that we're going to be using to visually design our website. So in order to get WordPress, just go on over to Marketplace, and then just scroll all the way down until you see one-click installs. And then again, just click on one-click installs over here on the left, and then just click on WordPress. And then from here, just go ahead and select the domain that you want to install WordPress to, and then leave this as directory, and then just click on next. And then just give your website a name. I'm just going to give it my name since it's, my website for my Instagram. And then admin user, I'll just put my name, first name, last name, and then admin email. And then just agree to the terms of service, and then click on install. And just like that, it is already done. Now, from here, what you're going to want to do is save this information right here. So I highly recommend copying this and pasting it in the notes on your computer somewhere, because we're going to need this ridiculous password right here in order to actually log in to our website. Now, in order to log into our website, yes, you could click on the login button. But the way that you should get used to logging into your website is going up to the top, typing in your new domain name, and then doing /wp-admin. This is the way that you should always get used to signing into your website. Now it's going to take us back to this page again because right now your website is propagating. Your domain name is being sent out to the entire world. Basically, HostGator is letting everyone know that your domain name exists. And this can take a while because it's going around the world. So it could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, but I've never actually had it take longer than 30 minutes. They say it could take up to 24 hours, but again, I've never had that happen. So just take a quick 30-minute break, come back, and then type in your new domain name /wp-admin and check on your website. All right, so we're back and we're gonna check on our website. So I'm just gonna go up to the top and type in my new domain name /wp-admin. Cool, and then once you come to a page that looks like this, you know that it's working. So now I'm just gonna use my username, which is just my name, and then I'm gonna paste that ridiculous password that we copied from earlier, and then just click on login. All right, so here we are inside of our WordPress dashboard, and it looks crazy. So we are going to clean this up. So first of all, I'm just gonna exit out of HostGator. And now just hit the X on everything that you see. Let's just clean up this whole dashboard and make it nice. Cool. Okay, that's a lot better looking, a lot less intimidating. So really the main thing you need to know about WordPress is that anything that you need to get to is going to be over here on this left-hand menu. And we are going to start by changing that ridiculous password to one that you're actually going to remember. So let's just go on over to users, and then we're just going to go over to all users. Cool, and then just go ahead and click on your name. And then scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see account management. It'll say new password. We're just going to generate a new password and we're going to delete that. And then we're going to type in a new one that we're going to remember. Cool, and now just click on update profile. Okay, so now step number 3 is to activate plugins. So we're gonna need 2 different plugins. The first is gonna be called Elementor, and Elementor is gonna be our easy to use drag and drop page builder that we're gonna use to actually build the home page of our website. And then the second one is just an add-on plugin to give us some extra tools for that. So let me show you how to install and activate new plugins. Okay, so in order to get our new plugins, what we're gonna do is just go on over to the left where it says plugins and then go over to add new. And then over here on the right, you'll see this little search bar and we're just gonna type in Elementor. And then you can see the plugin right here and it's got 3 million active installations. So that's awesome. A lot of people use it and for a good reason. So now we're just gonna click on install now. And then just click on activate. Cool. All right, so now we're gonna go get another plugin for Elementor. So what we're gonna do is just go on over to the left and go to plugins and then go over to add new again. And then we're gonna go over to the search bar on the right and type in essential add-ons. And then you'll see essential add-ons for Elementor right here. So we're gonna click on install now and then activate. Awesome. So now step number 4 is to activate a new theme. So a theme for this website is just going to determine what our header and our footer look like. So what we're going to do is just go on over to appearance over here on the left and then click on themes. And then if we scroll down, you can see our active theme is 2019, which if I just go up here to the top left and go to visit site, I'll just open that up in a new window so I can show you what our website looks like currently. And there it is. It's super boring. Yeah, it looks terrible. So what we're going to do is just exit out of that and we're going to install a new theme. So I'm just going to go down to add new theme. And then just like the themes, there's a search bar over here. So I'm just going to type in Astra because Astra is the theme that we want to use. And you can see it right here. It's this kind of purplish one. So I'm just going to click on install now. and then activate. Cool, so now we can move on to step number 5, which is to create a new page. And this is actually going to be our home page. So if you want to create a new page for your website, you can just go over to Pages and then go over to Add New. Cool, and then from here you can edit your page. So you can give it a title. So we're just going to call this one Home Page. And then if you wanted, you could actually start writing text in here if this were something other than your home page, like say an About Me page or a contact page or so on. But for this case, we're just going to leave it as home page, leave it super simple. And we're just going to go over to Publish up here at the top and then Publish again. Cool, so now we're just going to go up to our name up here and then just go to Visit Site. And then just click on Customize. And now what we need to do is basically tell our theme that we want to use that new homepage page that we created as our home page. So a little confusing, let me walk you through it. So if you just go down to homepage settings down here, and then you just click on a static page, and then it'll say, what do you want to select as your home page? Well, we just made one called homepage, so I'm just going to select homepage. And then I'm just going to click publish to save my work. Cool, and then now we can just click on the X to get out of this menu. And then I'm just going to go to edit page. Cool, and then from here, the last thing that we're going to do is just go to the settings over here. You'll see page attributes. Just open that up, and we're going to change template to Elementor full width. And then just go ahead and click on update. Cool, and now we can move on to step number 6, which is to customize your website. So here is the fun part. Here's where we're going to drag and drop elements onto our website, and I'm going to show you how to visually design. So now just go ahead underneath homepage, which is the page that we're on. We're just going to click on Edit with Elementor up here at the top. Awesome, so here we are inside the Elementor page builder. So the way that it works is you can just create a new section. So if you just click on this little pink button with the plus icon, you can select a structure. So how many columns do you want in it? We'll just start with 1 column for now and just make it a full width. And automatically you'll see over here on the left, you've got edit section. So here is where you're going to be able to edit anything, whether it's a section or a widget, any sort of block that you drag in there. This is where you're going to edit everything. So for this section in general, what you can do is change the height. So if we just go over to height and change that to minimum height, you can drag this up and down and create, either a taller or shorter section if you want to. And then if you want to add a background to this, what you can do is just go over to the Style tab. And then you can see background is on normal and it'll say background type. We're just going to click on classic, which is a little paintbrush. And then you'll see image. So if you want, you could add a color first just by clicking on this little icon here. Click on one of these blocks down here and you can drag around and change the color. Or what you can do is add an image. So I'll just click on choose image and then you can upload a new file. So you might be on media library, which you won't have any items in there yet. Or you can just click on upload files, go to select files, and then select them from your computer. So right now I've got a folder on my desktop called Instagram website images. So I'm just going to drag in, let's say, the hero image, which is our main image at the top. And then I'll just click on insert media. Cool, and then now our image is in there and we can't really see it because it's too large right now. So as you can see, if we go over to position, we are just going to change that to center to be in the middle of the image. And we're going to change the size to cover, and it's just going to cover from left to right the width of this, and then the height will just automatically update. And then you can also make it to where when you scroll, it's parallax. So if you go to attachment and then go to fixed, you can now scroll and the image will stay the same, which is really cool. And again, if you want to change the height of this section, just going over to layout, make sure that you're on this section. So if you're not, just click on the little 6 dots. And you'll be in the edit section, and then we can just change minimum height to be up or down. And now let me show you how to add text. So if we just go up to this little Rubik's Cube looking symbol up here, here is where we can find all of our widgets. And these are all of our little tools that we can drag and drop in here and customize. And one of them is heading. So I'm just going to drag that heading over here, and you'll see a little blue line that'll indicate where it's going to be dropped. So right now we've only got one column, so I can only drop it in the one spot. So if you just let go, here is your text, so you can edit that over here if you want, or you can just type right on the screen. But I personally like to type over here, so we can just say, welcome, want to collaborate. And then if you want to change the color of it, you can just go on over to Style, and then go to Text Color, and we'll just click in that box and drag it to white. And then you can also change the font. So if you go to Typography, here you can change the font family. So there's just tons of them. These are all Google fonts. So if you want to know what the Google fonts look like, you can just wait a second and they will update. Or you can just go to Google and type in Google fonts and find a whole list of them there. But I'm just going to leave it as the default. And you can change the size here if you want, if you drag it up and down. But I'm going to Control Z and go back to the way it was. By the way, if you need to undo anything, a good quick tip is to use Control Z. Okay, so now I'm going to close that. And you can add a text shadow if you want as well, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. And then what we can also do is add in a button. So if we just go back up to the Rubik's Cube up here, and then we go over to button, we can just drag that button in, and we'll drag it underneath. And here you can change the text for the button. So you could say, contact me, like that. And then the link is where it's going to go. So you can just delete this little hashtag and you can put in a certain link right here. And then you can change the button size right here. You can make it an extra large button. I kind of like the extra small or the small. And then you can also add an icon to that button. So if you click on the icon library, you can select a whole bunch of icons here. So we'll just say something like an arrow down and then insert that in. Cool. And then now you can see there's a little arrow right there. And then you can change the position to be before or after, kind of like before. But honestly, I'm not even going to do an icon right now. And if you want to change the color of the button, you can just click on Style up here. And then you can change the typography of the text. You can add a text shadow, text color, background color, all the settings are in here. So I really like black buttons, or I like transparent buttons. So just for this case, I'll just do a black button. And then you can also change the hover color. So if I go over to hover, this is what it's going to change to whenever I hover my mouse over. So for background color, I will change this to say like a bright blue, maybe something like that, and then just click off anywhere. And then that way when I hover over, now it turns blue, which is really cool. So now I'm going to go back over to the normal tab, which is what it looks like without hovering over it. And I'm going to change the border radius. So if we just bring this all the way up to say like a 40, 43, it doesn't matter. After we get past a certain point, it becomes a circular button. And I really like the circular button. And if you want to add space around any of these objects, let's say the text or the button, what you can do is just going over to Advanced, and then just go to Padding, and you can just increase this value, and that will add some padding around this button and kind of space it out. Now, obviously, that looks a little crazy, so I'm not going to do that, but that is how you can edit the spacing of certain objects. So now what I'm going to do is add a background overlay over this image. So I'm just going to click on these 6 dots right here, and then I'm going to go to Style. And the 6 dots, by the way, is for this section. So if you click on those 6 dots, it's going to open up the settings for this whole section. So now I'm going to close background and go to background overlay. And then from background overlay, I'm going to click on classic, and then I'm going to choose a color. So I'm going to click on the color box here, and then I'm going to change it to black, and that will add kind of a black overlay. Or we can do gradient like that. And what we can do is just get rid of this pink. So if you click on the little pink color box, we can just drag this slider all the way to the right, all the way down so that it's transparent like that. And then that way, when we change the angle here, we can put the black over on the left. So I will do maybe something like that. Let's say like a 90. And then I'm going to change the location right here to kind of come out a little bit. Actually, Yeah, it looks pretty good. So actually what I'm going to do is just increase the opacity down here. So like that. And then obviously I would want to choose a different button color to make this stand out. But now with that black background overlay, our text now stands out a lot better. So in a nutshell, that is how to use Elementor to drag and drop elements on your website and, customize your own website. But in order to expedite the process, now that you know how to work Elementor, I went ahead and created a complete template for the Instagram website I showed you in the beginning. So all you need to do is just go over to the description and you'll find a folder with the website templates in it. So I would just download those and then I'll show you how to import it. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is just hit the X and get rid of this whole section that we created and start over. And what we're gonna do is just click on the little add template button. It's kind of a gray button with a folder. I'm gonna click on that and then go on over to the top here. It says import template. It's this little up arrow with the circle. Click on that and then click on select file. And then I'm just going to go to my desktop and grab the CPW Instagram website template. So I'm going to grab that and then just click on open, and that will be in that folder which is in the description. There's a link to it in the description if you haven't grabbed it already. And then as you can see, once I upload it, it's here in my templates library. So now all you want to do is just click on insert in here in green, and boom, just like that. If we close this menu here with this little hide panel button, you can see we've got our website, and obviously there's no pictures on it as of right now, but the whole thing is built and ready to go. All we need to do is replace images and replace text. So let's go ahead and do that. So first off, I'm going to click on these 6 dots for this section and replace the image in the back here. So I'm just going to click on style, and then I'm just going to go over to image to choose image, and then I'll just click on that same hero image that I already imported and then click on insert media, and then boom, just like that, it's ready to go. And again, I'm on center, fixed, and cover. Those are the best settings for the hero image. And if you want to change your background overlay, you can just click on background and then go to background overlay, and you can change the color here or the angle. Again, I showed you how to do all of this earlier, but I kind of like the black like that. It really helps my text stand out and my buttons. So now if you want to change the text, you can just click on the little pencil icon for the text and you can edit that text right here. And then if you want to edit where the buttons go or what they say, or even the colors, everything, you can just click on the little pencil icon for the button, and you can change the name here. I have it set to advertise with me because if you want to sell posts, for companies to advertise on your Instagram, I figured this was the best thing to write. And I have it set to going to hashtag pricing. So what happens is whenever I click on this, it jumps down to the section on my website with all of my pricing. And the reason why that happens is, I'll show you. If I click on the 6 dots for this section, and then I go over to advanced, down here you'll see CSS ID, and I have it set as pricing. So I'm basically categorizing this section as pricing. And then when I go up to the button, and then click on the little pencil icon, and then I go to hashtag pricing, if I write a hashtag before that same exact ID, it will then jump to that section. So it's pretty cool. It's called the jump button. And again, if you want to change the color of this button, just go on over to style and you can change it here. And you've got normal or hover. All right, and scrolling down, here is where we're going to put all of our social links. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the column right here. So there's a little gray box right here, and I'm going to click on that because that's where we're going to put the image, because the image is going to take up this entire space. So if you click on the icon, that is just for this little YouTube icon. But the edit column button in gray is where we're going to put the image. So make sure that you're clicking on the correct box. So click on that and then go on over to style. And then underneath background, we're just going to go to image and click choose image, and I'm going to go to upload files and then select files, and then I'm going to go to Instagram website images, and I'm just going to drag everything in, so everything except for the hero image that I already did, and then I'm just going to click on open. Cool, and then now I've got all of my images that I'm going to be using for my website right here inside my media library. So now I'm just going to click on this one, which is the image I want to use for that YouTube section, and I'm just going to click on Insert Media. Actually, before I do, let me make something super clear. So the larger the images that you use, the slower your website is going to go. So you want to make sure that your images are not very big. So right now, this is the maximum that you should really do, is about a 1200 width in pixels. So the highest I've gone really is 1500, and that's okay. But the smaller that your pictures are, the faster your website's going to go. So it's hitting that sweet spot between a small enough image without losing quality. So I thought for this image, about 1200 was a good spot. So I'm just going to click on Insert Media. And then there you can see it looks great. And when I hover over it, it turns red, which I will show you how to edit. So if we just go on over to background and click on background to close it, and then go to background overlay, and then go to hover. Here is where you can change the color right here. And I have it set to kind of this red color for YouTube, which I really like. So I'm going to leave it. But make sure that you're in hover underneath background overlay. And then the icon you can change as well. So if you just click on the little pencil icon, that is for the icon. So just click on edit icon, and then you can change the icon by clicking on icon library and change it to whatever you want. So you can actually search for them up here. But I'm just going to close that. And then you can edit the link. So whenever somebody hovers over and clicks on it, right now it's just going over to my Creator Pro website YouTube channel, which is what you're watching now. But you can change it to whatever you want. So now I'm going to replace all the other images in here. So what I'm going to do is just click on Edit Column, go over to Style, and then go on over to Image, choose an image, and I'm going to grab this waterfall one, and then click on Insert Media. There we go, and that's Spotify. So whenever I hover over it, it turns green, and you can change that. I'm going to change this background as well for Instagram. So Style, and then choose Image. And then I'm going to choose, let's say, this one, and then Insert Media. There we go. And then the last one, Snapchat. So I'm going to click on Edit Column, Style, and then go over to Choose Image, and then I'll pick this one, and then Insert Media. Cool. And you can change the colors of all these and the icons. Let's say you don't have a Snapchat, or maybe you don't have a Spotify you want to share. You can change these to whatever you want. And I actually don't even really use Snapchat. In my personal opinion, I think Snapchat's kind of dead, but either way, I put it on there anyway. Now, one cool trick is if your pictures don't quite line up the way that you want them to, I will show you how to edit them. So let's just do this one for Spotify. So I'm going to click on the little Edit Column button, and then go over to my image. And let's say that center is not working out. Well, you could try top center or bottom center. This one's actually not moving because it fills the whole screen. But if I go over to custom, you can then change where it fits within that window. So this is the X position. So I could put that right in the center somewhere. Or, sorry, let's go back to custom. And then the Y position, you could change to be up or down. So I'm going to Control Z that. Just like that. I'll just go back to center. But if you go to custom, you can change exactly where it's going to sit. Okay, so let's scroll down and let's fill in our About Me. So let's go ahead and change the background first. So I'm just going to click on the three dots to edit the background, and then go on over to Style. And then I'm just going to go to Choose Image. And then I'm just going to choose this one, the waterfall, same one, and then click on Insert Media, just like that, and we're at center and fixed. So whenever I scroll, it's kind of got this parallax effect going on. And then I've got a background overlay on this. So if we click on background and go to background overlay, it's kind of this dark blue, really dark blue. And then the opacity is set at 0.77, so it's pretty high. So if you want to bring that down, you can, or you can change it to a different color. But I'm kind of feeling the blue. My Instagram has kind of like a blue and orange feel to it. So actually, if I go to Instagram, and here, I'll just go to my Instagram. So my Instagram kind of has like a blue and an orange feel to it. And if you want to know how to do this, I have a course on Skillshare that teaches you how to do this. It's how to get a cohesive Instagram feed. And I will also put a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. And it's really cool. It really makes your Instagram look a lot more fluent and much more pleasing to look at than just, random colors everywhere. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to change the image for About Me. So I'm just going to click on this whole block. This is called an image box. So it's got text and an image all within one widget. So right here, I'm just going to go over to choose image. And then I'm just going to choose one of myself. And then just click on insert media. Like that. And as you can see, I've already preset this to be 500 by 500. It's going to be a perfect square. So if you want to change the size, you can. So let's say I want it to be 500 by 700. I can hit apply, and then it's more of like a a portrait looking photo. But I'm going to leave it as 500 by 500 and leave it as a square. Okay, so you can also scroll down and you can edit the title and description. So underneath title, you could change that. Maybe you just want it to say about. And then you can write whatever you want in here. And if you want there to be a line break, the way I have these two paragraphs, well, this one's not really a paragraph, but the way I have a line break in here is just by clicking on the screen and creating a line break by hitting enter twice. Because if you do that in here, it won't quite work. Because as you can see, right here, we've got BR and BR. That's a little break code. Basically, it's saying, to create a line break twice. So just do it right on the screen. And if you want to change the color and the typography of this text, you can just go on over to style. And then you can see we've got image and we've got content. So I'm going to click on content, and then we can change the color here of the title, and then there's the color of the description. So I kind of have this set as like a light gray color, which I really like. But if you want to change it, you can. And I'm going to, actually, if you want, you can also increase the size of this section. So if we click on these 6 dots, go to layout, and then we go on over to minimum height, we can drag that up or down. But I kind of like it right where I had it. Okay, scrolling down, we are going to change our Instagram background. So this is where we're going to be actually putting our Instagram feed. So I'm going to click on these 6 dots to change the background image. And then I'm going to click on style. And then go on over to choose image. And then you can grab whichever one you want. I'm just going to grab this one of me on the motorcycle and click on insert media. And obviously you're using your own pictures for this, but really you can choose any one you want because there's overlays on all of these. So it really doesn't matter because our content is going to cover up this whole screen. You're not even going to see me sitting on the bike anyway, so it really doesn't matter which picture that I choose. Okay, so that's done, and there's an overlay on it, which you can change, but I showed you how to do that. And here you can see we've got a widget that says Instagram feed, and it's a short code. So what this is we need to go install a plugin that matches with this short code. So the plugin is going to allow you to hook up your Instagram, and it's going to automatically update your Instagram on your website as you update your Instagram. So let's just go ahead and click on update. To save our work, I should have said that sooner. You want to click on update as much as you can to save your progress because nothing sucks worse than losing all of your progress. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the little hamburger looking symbol right here and then go on over to exit to dashboard. And then from here, I'm just going to go over to plugins and then go over to add new. And then from the search bar, we're just going to type in Instagram. And then right here, you'll see Smash Balloon Social Photo Feed. This is the one that we want. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Install Now. And then click Activate. Awesome. So now let's go ahead and activate our Instagram with that plugin. So I'm just going to scroll down and you'll see we've got a Instagram feed icon over here in our left menu. So now I'm going to click on that. And then if we just scroll down a little bit, here is where we can configure our Instagram. So you can just click on this little this big button that says connect an Instagram account, and it should automatically hook yours up. So it'll say, are you connecting to a personal or business? We're going to say personal, and then click on connect. And if you're already logged in like I am, then it will automatically hook up your Instagram just like that. So I was automatically logged in to Instagram on my computer, and if you weren't, then it will ask you to log in. And if for some reason this button is not working and you need to manually hook it up, what you can do is just click on button not working ? And then it's going to say, okay, click here to get your access token. So I'm just going to click here to get that. And again, personal or business, we're just going to say personal, and then click on connect. And then here you can see we've got our access token here. So I'm just going to drag that and click copy, and it will likely ask you to sign in to your Instagram before this happens. So go ahead and sign in, and then just copy that, and then go back to WordPress, and we'll just click on manually connect an account right here. And then you can just paste in that code and then click connect this account. And mine's already hooked up, so it's just going to re-highlight in green again. Cool. So from here, we're going to go up to the Customize tab. And then underneath Customize, we're going to scroll all the way down to Layout, and we're going to change the number of photos right here. We're going to change that to 8 because 20 is way too much. And we're going to leave number of columns as 4. That way we've got 4 images and then 4 underneath them. And then for Disable Mobile Layout, we're going to click on that because whenever this comes up on somebody's phone, we want the images to not take up so much space. And I'll show you what I mean a little bit later, but just make sure that you check this box right here and then just click on Save Changes. And then still underneath Customize, we're just going to scroll down over to the header, and you can just disable the show header altogether, or you can just disable the bio text, which is kind of what I like to do. So I'm just going to click on disable the bio text, and then you can change the header text color. So I recommend, even though it looks like it's kind of like a white color, it's actually really dark and it's kind of hard to read. So what we're going to do is just change it to kind of like a light gray, like that, and then just click on Save Changes. Cool. And then now if you click on Display Your Feed right here, that is where you can actually grab that shortcode, which we already did grab it, but just in case, I will copy that shortcode again. Cool. So now let's go back to our website. So we'll just click on Visit Site up here at the top left. And then I'm just going to delete this little access token window, and we're going to click on Edit with Elementor right here. All right, and we're back inside Elementor. So we're just going to scroll all the way down, and as you can see, mine already populated automatically. But if it didn't, and you need to find the shortcode plugin, or sorry, the shortcode widget, you can just go over to the little Rubik's Cube looking symbol here, click on that, and then you can just search right here in the search widget. You can just type in shortcode, and it's this little shortcode widget here, and then you could just drag that in, and then you would paste that shortcode, so the Instagram feed shortcode. Now, I'm not going to do my Instagram feed twice, but if you did, you could just hit apply, and then you would want to actually refresh the page because then your actual Instagram feed will show up. If you don't refresh the page, it will just look like this. But I'm going to get rid of that because I've already got it right here underneath. And this automatically has a follow on Instagram button, which is really cool because if you click it, it'll take the visitor to your Instagram and you can load more pictures. Okay, scrolling down, here is the cool part. So here's where you can charge people to advertise on your Instagram. So if you've got lots of followers or you want to get to lots of followers, this is the way that you could monetize your Instagram. So right now I have the title just set to want to advertise on my Instagram ? So if you just click on that, you can double click or triple click to edit that, and you can edit it right here. You can also change the background. So we're just going to go to the 6 dots, go over to Style, and then go to Choose Image. And we're just going to grab, let's say, this one, and then click on Insert Media. There we go. So now we've got a cool background in there. And then we've got our background overlay. So if we just go to background and then go to background overlay, you can see I've got the blue and orange, which matches my Instagram. So it's got this, cohesive, orange and blue throughout my whole website, exactly the same as my Instagram. So everything looks branded. That's the key here with Instagram, is making sure all your content is branded. So if you want, you can change these colors right here, as well as the opacity. You can make it lighter or a lot darker, but I'm going to leave it just the way it was. And then if you want to edit what these all say, so I have it currently set to story posts for $500, single picture post for $1,000, multi-picture post for $2,000, and a video for $5,000. Now, I don't actually charge these for my Instagram. Maybe if I had a lot of followers, I would. I think I've only got at the moment like 3,500 followers or something. So feel free to follow me if you want to help me grow. At Dale McManus. But yeah, I don't actually charge these prices, but you could if you wanted, if you had a lot of followers. So if you want to change these, we can just click on the edit icon right here. It's the EA pricing table. And this is the essential add-ons pricing table. So if you installed that essential add-ons plugin in the beginning with me, that is how you access this. So if you click on that, we can just go on over to the settings. So you can change the title. And right now I have it set to story post. And then we can change the price. So if you go to price, you can set that here, as well as the currency is US dollars. And you can even do a sale. So if you're like, hey, this week I'm going to be doing story posts for, only, let's say $350, whatever it might be, you can change that there and it will update on screen. And it kind of shows like this is what the value is and this is what they're getting it for. So there's kind of a sense of urgency there, but I'm going to take that off. And then you can change the price period. So right now I have it set to per story, and then the separator. So I'm going to close that, and then feature. This is all these things with the little check marks. So right now I've just got, the swipe up button. I've got, talk about your business or product in one story. We'll demonstrate it. We'll tag your Instagram, all the good stuff. And you can edit these here. So as you can see, like 3 hashtags. If I just click on 3 hashtags and open that up, well, now we can edit the icon. I kind of like all the check boxes. I would just leave it as that personally, but do whatever you want. And then you can change the icon color. You can change the name of it, so whatever you want it to say right there. And then you can just click to close it. So that's how to edit all of these little feature buttons. And then the button, you can just click on that and you can add an icon to your button. I kind of am not a huge fan of icons on buttons. And I have this button text set to inquire. So if it's like, hey, I want to inquire about that. And actually, if you click on that, it will automatically jump down to the contact form, which we have to set up still. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and that's done here with hashtag contact. So remember I talked about earlier the CSS ID. If we go down to the contact and click on this whole section here, the little 6 dots, and then go to advanced, here you can see the CSS ID is contact. So that's how that works. Okay, going back to this little widget, you can change the look of all these things. So if we just go over to style, you can just close this. You can see you can edit the style of everything, the header, the pricing, the feature list, the button, everything. So if you want to change the button, you can just click on that. And then you can just go to normal and then go to background color. And you can change the background color of that as well as the hover colors whenever you hover over it. But I like the black. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. So really, you can just mess around in this little left-hand menu to edit everything about these little widgets. So the same goes for all 3 of these. So edit them however you want. If you wanted, you could actually delete one. Let's say you're like, I don't want to do stories or whatever. Let's go ahead and delete that. So if you just click on the little edit column right here for this one, and then right click, you can just click on delete. And that will delete that whole column, and then the rest of them will automatically resize, which is really cool. That's why I love Elementor. But I'm going to Control Z to bring that back. So you have to kind of click off, then Control Z. and that will bring that back. All right, cool. So scrolling down, and we can edit our music. So if you don't even want this section, you can just click on the little X to delete it, but I personally like it because it's a little bit about who I am. I mean, this is my Instagram website, so I should be representing my personality through here, and a lot of my personality is the type of music that I listen to. So in order to change it, you can just click on the little edit SoundCloud icon right here. And then you can just go over to link and change the link. So if you want, you can just go up to a new window, type in SoundCloud, and then you can just search for a new artist. So let's say, I have it set as Post Malone right now. Call me basic, but I really like Post Malone. You can just click on him or any other artist, and then you can just go to whatever their track is. And let's say that I wanted, this one. I would click on the name of the song, and then I would just grab this right up here, this URL, and then I would go back and just paste that in right here. And then boom, just like that, it changes, which is really cool. And you can also set it to where it auto plays. So if you wanted, you could have it autoplay as soon as somebody loads up your website. I personally don't do it because if somebody's out in public and it's quiet or something, I kind of personally hate it when I open up a website and just music or something starts blaring. So I like to have the option for them to turn it on if they want. But you can autoplay right here, and then you've got all sorts of other settings that you can play with for this little SoundCloud app. Okay, and now let's change the background. So I'll just go to the little 6 dots, and I'll click on that, and then go over to Style, and then go on over to Image, and click Choose Image. And then I'm just going to choose this one of the mountain that I took. I was in Colorado when I took that, and click on Open, and then boom, just like that. It's got this little parallax effect. So as you can see, if I close this, every other section is a parallax. So this one's a parallax for the Instagram, and this one's not. The image just kind of scrolls with it. And then this one's a parallax, and then the next one is actually not a parallax as well once we put an image here. But every other one goes from scrolling to parallax, from scrolling to parallax. Okay, so let's go back down, and we will edit our contact section. So first, let's just click on these 6 dots and add a background. So I'm going to click on Style, and then go to Choose Image, and I'm going to grab the rhino and click on Insert Media. Boom, there we go. There's our rhino. And then we've got a background overlay on here as well, but I already showed you how to edit that. Just click on Background Overlay. And then now we need to create a new contact form, which brings us to step number 7, create a new contact form. A contact form is a must-have on your website if you want to be able to collaborate with other brands on the internet, especially with Instagram, because Instagram DMs really are kind of impersonal and they really only go so far. But having your own contact form on your very own website makes you look so much more professional. So let me show you how to get it. So I'm just going to click on Update down here to save our work. And then I'm just going to click on the little hamburger symbol to go back to this menu, and then I'll click on Exit to Dashboard. Okay, so in order to create a new contact form, we're going to do that through WP Forms. And you can see we've got a menu item for that. And if you don't, it's just a plugin. You can just go to Plugins and go to Add New and search for WP Forms, and then you can install and activate it. But it should automatically be installed and activated whenever you install WordPress. So underneath WP Forms, I'm just going to click on Add New. And then from here, you can select a template. So you could do a blank form from nothing. Or what we could do is just start with a simple contact form, which I highly recommend. Why do more work when you don't have to? So I'm going to click on Create a Contact Form. And then here is our simple contact form. And it's just a name, an email, and a message. So we're going to go ahead and add a few items to this. So if we're going to be selling our stories and our posts and our videos for brands to advertise with us, then we're going to want to add some sort of a checkbox for them to click and say, this is the one that I want to purchase or this is one that I want to advertise with you for. So what I'm going to do is just click on Checkboxes right here. And this will add that to the bottom of our contact form. So in order to drag it to the top, you just click and drag. And we'll just drag it all the way to the top. And then if you just click on it once, it will open up the settings so you can change the label. So right now I'll change this to post, plural, you'd like to inquire about. Something like that. And then that way they can check multiple if they want to. So right now we've got choices. We're just going to change this to story post. And then the next one to single picture post. And then we'll do multi-picture post. And then if you just click on the little plus icon, you can add another one. And we'll just do video post, like that. And then you can see all 4 of them here, and then they can check multiple, because if they want to buy maybe a story and a single picture post, they can, which is really cool. And if you want to make that field required, you can just select the little required checkbox here, but I'm not going to make it required. Maybe somebody just wants to send me a general inquiry. Well, they don't have to check one of these. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add a business name and a business URL section. So what I'm going to do is just going over to add fields right here. And then I'm just going to go to single line text like this and click on that. And then we'll add that at the bottom and we'll just drag that up. And then we're going to click on it. And we're going to change it to business name like that. And then they can write in their business name. And then we're just going to go to add fields, single line text again. And then we're just going to drag it up and then click on it again. And then we'll just call this business URL, because if they have a website, we want them to put it there so that we can go check out their website before we decide we want to work with them, because you never know what types of brands are going to hit you up. Cool. And then we have this set to name, first and last, which is fine, and it's actually required, which we really want. And then email, that's required as well, so they have to put in their email, which means that you can respond to it. And then their comment or message. So if you want to just click on this, we'll just change that to message, like that. And then we're just going to click on save. And then from here, what we're going to do is just click on settings right here at the left-hand menu. And then we can change the name. So right now it's set to simple contact form. Nobody's going to see this name, so we'll just call it inquiry form, something like that. Doesn't really matter. And if you scroll down, you can change the submit button text here, as well as what it's saying whenever it's actually sending, but I recommend just leaving it as submit and sending. And then we'll just click on notifications right here. And then here is where you're going to want to put in the correct email that you want this to be sent to. So right now it's set to this little admin email shortcode. And basically what this is doing is taking the WordPress email. So the email that actually signed up for WordPress to install it, it's taking that email and sending it there. So if it is for some reason a different email, then you're going to want to change that here. And you can even add multiple. So you could actually just add a comma, which if you hover over this little question mark here, it'll tell you for multiple notifications, separate email addresses with a comma. So you could do that. And then here's the information that it's actually going to show up inside your inbox as. So the subject is going to say new entry with simple contact form. We'll just say new entry inquiry form, like that. And then it's going to have your name on it, which is totally fine. And then it'll give you the reply to email and the message. Now the other thing to double check is whenever we actually get this whole contact form set up, you're going to want to make sure that you go into your email inbox, let's say it's Gmail, whatever it might be, and make sure that you send yourself a test email. And if for some reason it comes up as spam, then you're going to want to unmark that as spam. That way future ones don't come into your spam inbox. But make sure that you're always checking your spam box and trying to make sure that these emails are not getting sent to it. But unmarking it as spam should make sure that it goes into your inbox. Just a little quick tip. Okay, and lastly, we're gonna go over to confirmation right here. Click on that, and this is what it's gonna say once somebody actually sends you a message. So it'll say, thank you for contacting us, we'll be in touch. So we'll just say, thank you for contacting me, I will be in touch, because this is my personal page, like that. And then you can also change it from a message you could do to a completely different page on your website, and it'll ask you which page you want to send them to. Maybe you have like a whole success page with a video and everything on there, or you can go to a completely different URL. But I like just the message. So I'm just going to click message, and then I'm going to click on save. And then I'm just going to click on the little X to get out of this menu. Okay, so now we're just going to go back to our website and click on visit site. And then we're just going to click on edit with Elementor. And then we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're going to put in our contact form. So here what you can do is just click on this little icon here. You can see it says EAWP Forms. Just click on that, and if for some reason you didn't find that, just go over to the Rubik's Cube, and then you can just type in EAWP Forms, and you can find it right here. But I've already got it here, so I'm just going to click on it, and then it'll say select a form, and we're just going to do the inquiry form, like that. This is the one that we created earlier. And then boom, just like that, there it is. It's already looking so much better. So now what you can do is change the background. So if we click on the column right here, like that, and then go over to style. Here, if we go over to border, border is where we can change how circular it is. So right now I've got these rounded corners to it. So if you wanted, you could just make this 0, and then it's a complete square. So it's kind of cool looking too, but I like the rounded corners. I think it looks really nice, so I'm gonna leave it. And then if you go to background and you go to color, you can change the color. So right now I've got it set as like this kind of semi-transparent background, but you can make it really transparent if you want, or solid white. But I'm kind of digging this like partial transparency like that. Looks pretty good. And then if you want to edit the width, so let's say that you don't like it kind of skinny the way that mine is, well, you can just go over to the 6 dots for the section, because we're going to be editing this space right here and over here on the left. And we're just going to go to advanced, and you can see I've got 300 on the right and 300 on the left for the padding. So that's 300 pixels here and then 300 pixels here. So if you wanted, you could do, 100 by 100, and it's a lot bigger, but I'm personally not a fan. I like kind of a thinner one. I think it's easier to absorb, easier to read and navigate like that, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then you can also change the submit button right here. So if we just click on the EA Forms widget and then go on over to style. Oh, by the way, you can change the title. So if you want your title to show inquiry form, you can, but I personally leave it off. And then you can also toggle the description, labels, etc. So let's just go over to style. And then what we can do is change the submit button. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom and go to submit button, and we scroll down again, you can change the background color. So I'm just going to scroll down so we can see it. You can change the background color here if you want, but I'm going to leave it as black. And then you can change the text color, and then the border radius is, whether you want more of a square button like that, or the way that we had it was around a 40, and that's more of a circular button like that. And then you can go to hover, change the button hover color. You can change the text and where the button goes, or sorry, not where the button goes, because it's going to your email. But you can change the color and the text and everything. Cool, so I'm just gonna click on update. Cool. So now, step number 8 is to edit your header and footer. So now that we've got our whole website looking awesome on here, if we just hide this panel, you can see our website is looking great now. And now what we want to do is edit this section up here, which is our header. So we're going to be adding in our own custom logo. We're going to make this transparent, as well as add some menu buttons up here so that we can navigate to certain parts of our website. And we're also going to be editing the footer down here. So we're going to get rid of this little border, this little white border. We're going to be putting some more buttons in here that go to terms and conditions and privacy policy and all that fun jazz. So what we're going to do is open this up and make sure that you hit update, and then we're going to go to the little hamburger symbol up here and then click on exit to dashboard. Cool. So now just go back up to your website name and then just click on visit site. And then from here, we're going to click on customize. Instead of clicking on edit with Elementor, we're just going to click on customize, because the customize is for the actual theme and not the rest of your homepage. The theme is really just this header and the footer. So as you can see, we've got a little pencil icon next to our name. So if you just click on that, you can put in a logo. So you can just click on select logo. And if you don't have one, what I will do is show you how to make one. So what we're going to do, we're just going to close this and go on up to a new window, and we're going to type in logo maker without the e.com. And then here it is. So I'm just going to close this because I'll show you how to use it. So Logo Maker is a super easy free online logo maker. So I'll show you how it works. So if you just go up here to the little search bar, we can type in anything. So let's say I wanted my logo to be a compass. So I'll just click on that and click enter. And now we've got all these cool compasses to choose from. And there's just tons and tons of them. I mean, you could literally scroll forever looking at icons. So I'm just going to grab one at random. Let's say, there's one at the top that I kind of liked. Let's do like this one, like that. It's kind of cool. And you can drag and resize. So if you just drag the corner, you can drag it up and down to resize it. So I'll just drag that over to the left. And then what we can do is grab the little text icon right here. Just click on that. And then you can edit some text. So I'm just going to write my name because, it's my Instagram. Or you could do @ like the @ symbol with your Instagram name like that. But I'm just going to leave it as my name. And then I'm going to triple click that, and you can change the color over here. So you can go to black to white. And then if you want to change the actual color, you just drag in this outside circle here. But I'm just going to leave it, let's do white. But for now, just so we can see it, I'm going to turn it black. But we are going to change it to white. So now we can change the font family. So if we just go up here to the font category, we'll just open that up. And then you've got all sorts of crazy ones here. So fun and funky, if you click on that, and then you click on the font family here, you've just got all these crazy weird fonts. But to me, having a really bold font is saying a lot. It's saying, hey, look at me, look at me. And we want to be humble with our font. We want to be like, kind of like, hey, I'm too cool to say, hey, look at me. So it makes sense scientifically, promise. So let's just click on fun and funky, and we're going to change that to simple and modern. And then we're going to click on the font family here, and we'll just scroll down, and I'm just going to grab, let's say Overlock SC. I really like that font. It's kind of elegant looking. So I'm just going to resize that like that, and then drag it next to my little symbol. So let's just click on this, resize a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger. And we'll resize this one to be a little bit smaller, kind of like that. It'll kind of lock to make sure that everything's on the same line. We'll drag it up just a little more. All right, that looks pretty good, just like that. So now what I'm going to do is select both of them like that by clicking and dragging a box. And then I'm going to change them both to white. And then I'm just going to go up to the save logo symbol up here at the top right and click on that. And then it's going to say, hey, do you want to buy this high resolution file for 20 bucks? We're going to say, no thanks. I'm going to download the low resolution file right here, which is completely free. And it's just going to ask you to credit them. So you can say somewhere tiny on your website, you could say, hey, this logo is made with, logomaker.com. Yeah, so just click on that and it'll download right here to my downloads. So now I'm just going to click on the X, and then I'm going to grab my name, and you can see it's my name right there. We're just going to delete that, and I'm going to grab my compass logo and change that to black just so I can see it. And I'm going to drag it into the middle and then drag it up to increase the size like that. Cool. And then now I'm going to hit save logo on that because this is going to be our favicon. So here, I'm just going to hit no thanks, download the low resolution file. like that. And the favicon is this little symbol right here. So as you can see, theirs is like a bunch of shapes. HostGator's got this little gator. Well, now ours is going to be this compass, and it's just going to be this little icon on the browser tab. Okay, cool. So I'm going to hit close on that, and then I'm going to go over to my website, and then just click on select site logo, and then go over to upload files, and then select files. And then you can see I've already got them here. So I've got my favicon and my logo. So for right now, I'm going to grab the logo and then click on open, like that. And then I'm just going to click on select. And then it's going to ask me if I want to crop. I can't even see it. So I'm going to click on skip cropping. Cool. So it's added right here and you can't quite see it yet. So let me show you how to make this transparent. I'm just going to go to this little menu on the left and scroll down, and then you'll see display site title, this little box right here. I'm going to uncheck that, and that will get rid of this title, which is my name. Now we've just got our logo, which you still cannot see yet. So first, what we're going to do is add our site icon, which is this little favicon symbol right here. I'm going to click on select site icon, go to upload files, select files, and then favicon. Click on open, and then just click on select. And then I'm just going to click skip cropping, and boom, just like that, there it is. You can see our little compass. Looks really cool. All right, so now we're just going to click on the back button, and then I'm just going to go to primary header right here. And then here you can change the layout so you can make it kind of stacked on top of each other or left and right. I prefer the left and right. And then border size, I'm going to change that to 0, like that. And then what I'm going to do is change the mobile header. So the mobile header is going to be this one, which is inline. So as you can see, if I click on this little symbol down here, it will switch to mobile view. And then we've got our little hamburger symbol on the right and then our logo on the left, which don't worry, we're going to change to transparent so you can actually see it. But just make sure that your mobile menu is set to inline. And then we're just going to click back. And then just click on transparent header. And then you'll see enable on complete website. So just click on that. And then boom, there we go. There is our logo as well as our name and our little hamburger symbol. So I'm going to switch back to desktop view so you can see what it looks like on desktop. So it's a little big. So what we need to do is bring the size down. So what I'm going to do is just click on the back button and then go back to site identity. Or you could just click on this little pencil icon right here. I'm going to drag the logo width down to more like that. I want it to be nice and small, you know, maybe 175, something like that. And then just click on publish to save your work. Cool. So now what we're going to do is create a new menu right here. So these are going to be menu items that whenever you click on them, they are going to jump to different sections on your website. So let's go ahead and click the back button. And then we're going to go to the back button one more time. And we're going to go down to menus over here. And then we're just going to create a new menu. So we're just going to call this primary menu. And then we're going to say the location is primary menu. And then just click on next. Cool. And then now we can add items to it. So I'm just going to click on add items. And here it's going to automatically open up the pages section. So if we close that, you can see we've got custom links, pages, posts, categories, etc. And pages is automatically open, but we don't want to add any of those because we haven't really created any new pages. But I did show you how to do that earlier with creating the new homepage. So if you had a separate page altogether on your website, you could add a link to it in your menu up at the top right. But in this case, what I'm going to do is click on custom links and open that up. And we're just going to say that the first one is advertise with me. And then we're going to put in hashtag and we're going to say pricing. And then that's going to jump down to our pricing section for our posts. So just make sure it says hashtag pricing and then it will jump down. So I'm just going to say add to menu, just like that. And we're also going to say about in the link text, and then the URL, we're just going to say hashtag about, and that'll jump to our about section. So we'll say add to menu, And then link text, we're going to say social. And then here we're going to put hashtag social. Now we'll jump to our social section and say add to menu. And then we will say Instagram, and then hashtag Instagram, add to menu. And then lastly, we'll do contact, and then URL is hashtag contact, and then add to menu. There we go. So now you can see we've got all of them here. So if I do the hide controls, you can see them all right here. And we can change the color of this so that it's white. But as you can see, we can click on any of these, like say about, and it will bring us to the about section. Social brings us to our social buttons. Advertise with me goes to pricing. So it's all working correctly. So I'm just going to open up this menu again. And then if you wanted, you could create a drop-down menu. So let's say that you had, multiple subcategories and you wanted it under one main category. Well, for this case, I'm just going to move the about section underneath advertise with me. So if you move it to the right, it creates kind of this little stair stepper looking effect. That way, when you look over here, now advertise with me has this little arrow and then it's got about underneath. So that's how you create a drop-down menu. But in this case, I don't want to do that because I really don't need to. So now I'm just going to leave it just like that. Click on publish to save my work. And then I'm just going to click on the back button and then back one more time. And then just go down to header. And then just go to transparent header because that's the one that we're using. And then if we scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see background, site title, menu, etc. Underneath menu, you'll see the little pencil icon. Let's just click on that. And then scroll down and you'll see link text color and then the background color. So we'll change the link text color to be white, like that. So now you can see it's white, looks pretty good. And then you can go back into that. So if you just click on menu, the little pencil icon again, and you go to hover, here you can change the hover color. So right now it's kind of this blue. Maybe I want to do more of like a light blue, kind of like that. There we go. That way, whenever we hover over it, it's more of a light blue. So that's how you change the colors of those. So just click on publish to save your work again. And then now we can edit our footer. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, here is our footer. So let's just click on the little pencil icon. And as you can see, right off the bat, we can change this text. So if you want, you can just delete powered by Astra, like that. Delete the little separator as well. So it'll just say copyright, the year, and then your name. So I would just leave it as that, as the site title. If you want, you could just get rid of site title and just write your name. But if you do this, whatever you update WordPress as on the WordPress dashboard, it will change it here as well. So I would just leave it as that. But what we're actually going to do is add some links right here and then put copyright underneath. So you've got section 1 and then you've got section 2. And this currently is in section 1. So what we need to do is go to section 2 and change it to text. And then change section 1 to footer menu. Like that. Cool. And it'll say assign a footer menu. And again, you'll have to edit this. So we'll just get rid of powered by Astra. And just go back to copyright, the year, and my name, like that. Okay, so let's go to the back button. And then we'll do the back button one more time. And we're going to go to menus again. And then we're going to go to create a new menu. And then here we're just going to call this footer menu. And then you'll just say the footer menu is the location that we want it. And then we'll just click next. And then from here we're going to add new items. So I'm just going to click on add items. And then instead of custom links, we're going to create new pages right here inside the customize menu. So I'm going to click on pages. And then underneath add new page, I'm just going to call this, let's say privacy policy. And then we'll just say add. And then that'll automatically create a new page inside of our WordPress dashboard. So we could actually get out of here and go to our WordPress dashboard and edit that whole page if we want. But right now it's just creating the name. So I'm also going to do terms and conditions. Like that. And then click on add. And then I'm gonna do cookie policy, and then add, and then we'll say refund policy, and then add. And then you'd actually want to go into these pages and actually add these policies to these pages, because right now they're going to be blank, but at least you've got the page ready to go and the button inside of your menu. So now I'm just going to click on publish to save our work. And as you can see, we've got it here at the bottom, which is really cool. And these actually, if you click on them, will go to those pages. Now the last thing that we're going to do is get rid of this little border on our footer. So I'm just going to click on back and then back again. And then I'm just going to go to footer, and then I'm going to go to footer bar, and then I'm just going to scroll down and you'll see border size. We're just going to change that to a 0. And now we've got no border right there and it looks awesome. Cool. So now publish to save our work. Okay, so now step number 9 is to edit for mobile and tablet. So we want to make sure that our website looks amazing on not only just the desktop, but also mobile, because guaranteed most people are going to be clicking on it on a mobile device if they're coming from your Instagram page. So making sure this whole thing looks great on mobile is a must. So I'm going to click on the little X to get out of this customize menu. And then I'm just going to click on edit with Elementor. Cool. And then if you want to edit for mobile, what you need to do is just go down to the bottom and you'll see this little symbol of a computer screen. Just click on that and just click on mobile, and it will come up with this little simulation iPhone looking phone, and you can just scroll down and make sure that your whole website is looking good on mobile, which I have already worked on this website and made sure that it was working on mobile. But if for some reason anything is out of place, you can adjust it on mobile and then it will not do it for desktop. So whatever you change on mobile will not change on desktop. So let me show you a little bit about what I mean. So right now I'm going to click on this little title and I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm just going to add a ton of padding to this and just make it kind of look awful on purpose. So as you can see, I'm on the little mobile icon, which is highlighted in blue. And I've got a ton of padding around this. But now if I go back to desktop, it still looks totally fine and there's no padding around it. Same with tablet, there's no padding around it. But as soon as I go to mobile, now we've got an 86 value of padding. So whatever you change that has this little symbol is not going to change the desktop or the tablet, and vice versa. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And again, I made sure that this whole thing was working correctly on every device. Now, if you were to change, say, the color of the highlighting here, that would change on all devices. There are a few things that will change on all 3 devices, but most of it you can edit per device. So same as mobile, I'm going to go over to responsive mode and go to tablet and make sure that everything is looking good on tablet, which it looks like it is. Everything's spaced correctly. Nothing's looking all wonky. You just want to make sure you double check. So these are a little long, but they do the job. And I think tablet is the 3rd least viewed device. So really worrying about mobile and desktop is more important. But even then on tablet, this looks pretty good. So I am just going to leave it. So now I'm just going to click on update. And now step number 10 is to publish your website. So now that everything is all said and done and our website is looking great, let's go ahead and publish it. So now I'm just going to click on the little hamburger symbol up here at the top and then go to exit to dashboard. And then I'm just going to click on dashboard right here. Up at the top, you'll see you've got this little notification in yellow that says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch your site, click here. So if you're ready to launch your site and make it live for the whole world to see, then go ahead and click here. Boom, and just like that, your site is live and ready to go. So let's just go take a look at it one more time. Awesome, everything's looking good. All the colors look great. If we click, our buttons appear to be working, which is really nice. This goes to the contact. You can see I've got the animations coming in as well. And our top buttons up here are working as well. So everything is looking great. Alright guys, so that was how to create a website for your Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Every like helps my small channel grow, and YouTube's algorithm loves that stuff. And if you want to see more awesome videos for how to create professional websites and how to make money with your websites, then please smash that subscribe button. You will not be sorry. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.